Alright, what's up guys? Uh, this video I'm going to show you guys how I normally make a beat. Making the video basically because it's a lot easier than you may think. Or well, I kind of go back to the similar pattern almost every time that I make a beat, and it makes it kind of easier to have something where you can set it up in a certain way and then kind of change it from there. So first of all, some things are going to be confusing just because you may not be familiar with how one of these how one of these programs works, or and like I really don't know terms and stuff like that, so it may be more difficult for me to explain. But I'll just start off and kind of just walk through different things, and hopefully it makes it easier for you guys if you want to try to make music and make it a little bit like less overwhelming for you. So first of all, I don't want to get too much into like the different plugins and stuff because you can really use a lot of different things. You just got to figure out what works best for you. Like this right here, this just allows you to plug in different, this lets you pick different noises that you downloaded from either online or something that you bought and just have it as a file. And basically you can go online and I've never bought a drum kit, so basically you can get a lot of these things for free. You just have to find the right websites and just find certain sounds that you like. But when I first start a beat, I start with a clap. So, and I know I go back to a lot of the same sounds, so I know a lot like where I want to go. Like I know I like this clap. I use it several times, and I mean I change it up. Like I'll mess with the noise, but this is a clap I like to go back to because it kind of just gets me started and like it kind of like jumps a little bit. So every time I pick a clap, I almost always put it in the same location, which is going to be between the one, I guess you can call this a bar. I put it in between each one of these, like right here. And also when I make a song, this is the BPM, basically how fast the song is moving. Usually it's between like 120 and 160. Um, Normally when I start off, I'll put it at like 130, and I'll put them all. Oh, that's very loud. But basically, and you can make longer ones like this, but I would do it in four and like in 4 bar increments. I like for the clap, since it's always gonna be basically the same, I just do a little four like this. So, and then if you want, you can kind of figure out the tempo once you have the claps in like that. See, it's at 130, which sounds slow, but it's only, I mean, it's because they're all spaced out, it's just a clap. So, um, the next thing I'm gonna grab, actually, let me turn this down. Next thing I'm gonna grab is the hi-hats. I already have one in here right now. It's like a Playboy Cardi hi-hat. It's like that. Um, the hi-hats, I mean, you hear these like in the background of songs. Oh shit. You hear these in the background of songs. Uh, it kind of drives the whole song. It makes it sound quicker. And literally, you can make it this simple. You just have the four, like you just have the four hitting, and then you have the clap right after like this. See, which sounds like it kind of automatically sounds good just because it's lined up like mathematically. See, if you just go, see, that's like I mean, that's already got you started on the beat going forward. Normally what I'll do, let me quiet this down. And yeah, I have the hi-hats like more quiet and the claps are much louder. But what I do is, and it's almost randomly, but I kind of listen in. And basically I'll take one of these little things, one of these little marks and basically cut it into three, so it has like the little like the chop noise through it. Here, I'll show you. Let me see where I'd put it. Let me try right here. And so yeah, I'm gonna cut this into three. I mean, this into like a third, and then this to another third. Then I'll play it through. Then I'm gonna add another one here. And honestly, I'm just listening in. I'm kind of used to just where I want it, like where I kind of want it to be. Like but it's really just however you want to do it. And they're really not as dramatic because they're more in the background, and you're gonna have a lot of sounds that are like overpowering it. So even though right now it seems like it's a big deal, it's really just gonna be a tapping noise in the back. And actually, I might add one more right here. And this kind of gets it all like jumping in a way. Yeah, I like this right here. Alright, so we have the clap. Actually, I'm going to label them real quick to help you guys. You have the clap, hi-hat, now I'm going to add a kick. The kick that I use a lot is out of this Travis Scott drum kit, because all the noises in here are like, they sound pretty clean. Let me see, I'll show you. And yeah, all these you can find these online. There's a website called Free Drum Kits where you can get, you kind of just look up by artists, and then you can just pretty easily find what you're looking for. Well, I'm gonna grab this kick here. When I do the kick, I always put it, crap, come on. I always put it on this very first hit, whatever you want to call it. It's a little bit loud. And I play it by ear and try to kind of make it how I think it should sound. I'm sure everyone can do, however, I'm sure there's different ways of different thinking of how you think certain, which noises should be louder than other noises. But I just do what I think sounds good. Also, I was going to say, for the clap, there's also, let me see, you could also put the clap like, you put the clap here, you could put it in these two positions, like this, instead of like these two here. But what you would do is, you would want to drop the BPM to like half. And I don't necessarily know the benefit of doing that, but I know, like, if you did 130 and a half, like if you had a 65 BPM, it would be like the same noise as these two here. So if you did 65, I'm gonna get rid of the hi-hats because it's gonna make it sound different. But the claps did at 65. See, it's like the same thing, because basically you're putting 2 instead of 1, so you're in a way cutting this in half from 130 to 65. So it kind of gives you, I mean, if you wanted to, I guess this might be a quicker beat, because once you get into like the instruments, you can do things that are like quicker instead of longer, which is, I mean, that would just make the song, I guess, like a little bit faster. But normally I just put them right in this location. Alright, let me bring everything back. Let me label this. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, we gotta bring it back to 130. Alright, so I always have it hit, I always have the kick at the very beginning, then I listen for the second one. and it's actually almost every time it's almost always right here, and you'll see how it sounds right. And this is, the kicks are kind of by ear, but they really are going to line up. Let me see. Let me zoom in. They're really going to line up on these little areas. FL Studio is similar, I think, to piano roll, but it even has like simpler knobs where you can just turn them on so that it hits at that moment. FL Studio, I think the drums are a little bit easier, but I got so used. I'm already so used to FL. I'm so used to Logic that I can just quickly do these. So here, I'll show you this, and actually, and what you do want to have one that's not lined up, because like you'll see, this right here is gonna make it. It's kind of gonna make this whole beat jump back around. It's gonna like drive it into the next loop, and I'll show you. See, if that wasn't there, you would not get that feeling of it coming back around. You could, I guess, but it's a lot more boring that way. So I like this. Turn it down maybe a little bit. And let's check it out at 150 too. See, I don't like it too fast, so I'm gonna keep it here. Next is the 808, and that's where the shit actually starts. It starts to get a lot more fun when you add the 808, because then you start like jumping around and stuff. Or like, at least I do. I think that shit's super fun. But also, so the 808 is gonna almost mimic the kick. I mean, the 808 lines up with these kicks, but it's not gonna be as often as these kicks, and I'll show you. So it's always gonna hit here at the beginning. That's very loud. Just gonna hit at the beginning, but also it's not gonna hit again until down here, because it kind of creates that open space that you want. And I'm gonna actually match these two. The 808 is gonna line up with these two right here, and it's gonna make it drive the loop back around. And I hope you know what I mean. I hope you can kind of hear what I mean. It makes it almost where it's not repetitive, because you're building it up and then you're bringing it back, and then it just keeps on building up, and then it comes back around. So it's like, it's almost like it never dies out. So I like that. The 808 is very simple. There are ways to get your 808 where you can play certain notes. So like you can make it more high pitch and lower pitch, but this is just like a single noise. So there's no variation in it. Like, also what I could do is I could have these two like that, and then have this one as a different 808 that I have downloaded that's like more high pitch. But for now, I'm gonna leave it how it is, because I think it sounds pretty good. Alright, so we have the 4 instruments down. Next, I actually normally just start using the different instruments that I have. What you can also add is an open hi-hat, which is, it's kind of like that. Here, I can find one real quick. But I don't always like to have it in my beats, because sometimes it makes it feel a little bit off. So I'll show you the noise. I have this drum kit. you can, it's like the, so it's like the closed hi-hats are kind of like the ticking noise. And then you have this one that's like psh. And actually I'll try to throw it in. Let me see. It's just I don't know a definite place for it. Maybe here. Shit, kind of like that, yeah. It's a little bit loud, so take it down. Yeah, I like it here, so I'm gonna keep it. This is the, and since that worked out, I'm gonna actually add something else that I've seen before and that I sometimes use. And it's basically a snare. Hold on. It's a snare that hits right before the clap. It kind of drives the clap. And you'll see what I mean. So I'm gonna go back to the Travis Scott drum kit. If you want these drum kits, I can send you links to them. I'm not gonna put it in the description, but if you do want it, just hit me up. I'm gonna grab the snare from here. So here, this is what it sounds like. It's like that type of noise. But it's definitely not gonna be that loud. And normally, so you have the clap here, and normally I would lay it on this part, so it kind of, here. It's hard to explain, so I'll put it down. You see, it's like, it kind of just, it carries it into the clap. So I'm adding another one here, and this is normally what I do. So it's gonna do it on this one. It's not gonna do it on this one. It will here, and then not here. And actually, let me try this. See now. Actually, I have an idea. So I'm gonna actually do this. Let's see what it sounds like. So as you can see, this one hits. I was telling you before, you want to kind of line a lot of stuff on these lines that are each fourth line or whatever you call it. But as you can see here, it hits. It's kind of, it's not really offbeat because it's still like, it's still even. But it's so close to the clap that it kind of meshes it together. Whereas this one, it hits and then it's like a clap. But then I'm gonna add this to pick it back up. No, it's gonna be here. And I like that. Thinking about adding, I don't want to do too much. One thing I learned is you don't really want to do too much with one of these sounds, because then you start trying to do everything. You start trying to do every instrument with one instrument, which is normally doesn't work out. So I may actually remove this, even though I like this noise. Because what I wanted, I'm sure you can kind of see it, and this is what I want to do, is like add two more right here, but I feel like it might be too extra. So let me see. So yeah, I'll do this, but it might be too much. I would even put this. You know what? I might. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go all out like this. I may keep one of these two here. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna keep that. We're gonna let it ride out. Alright, so now we have this beat bouncing. We have this snare. This is where I'm gonna get into the instruments. And the instruments have a lot more randomness to them, because it's more of whatever you kind of want to do or how you're feeling. That's like where I would say there's like emotion. You put a little bit like emotion into it. But let's see. So I have this called Alchemy, which comes with Logic Pro, and it has like 3,000 different noises. Some of them I've never really messed with, but there's all different kinds of plugins where you can find noises that you want. Normally I'll go to like a piano keys and just kind of find something that sounds alright. I know some of these, so it's actually I know my main one that I go to. It's called Clean Cool Vibes. You've probably heard it before in one of my songs. And also what I do is, this doesn't really apply too much to you unless you want to try it yourself, but I have this effect called pitch shifter, which just changes the whole pitch of whatever I'm playing. I mix it all the way and I drop it to -8. I just kind of came across this randomly one day, the -8 thing, and it, for whatever reason, the -8 sounds correct to me. I can actually, I can do it to the whole project. Let me see. And sometimes the drums actually sound good under -8 also. If the whole project was under it, it would be like this. It still, which I think it still sounds good, but it sounds like I don't know, like you're in a bathroom or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna do it on here. You see. Alright, so whenever I start doing the instruments, basically I'm gonna line that first noise up on this where the 1 is, where the beat starts. For this particular instrument, it's gonna be in this octave. And really you can play just something, it doesn't even have to be a note. It can just be this one key. And again, I'm just listening for what I think sounds right. Let me actually drop it instead. Also, something I've kind of learned is every other note kind of works with each other. So like this here, and like these three together just work very well with each other. And actually, mostly when you go up, so like these 3 notes always sound like they should be together. But let me try to figure this out real quick. Okay, I like that. So, and this is something I normally do where it's you have this one, these two are the same. So you have that familiarity where you hit here, here, same thing. But when I drop this next one, I don't want to make it this because that will make it very repetitive. So you want to make it something, the second one you kind of want to make more dramatic. Actually, that could hit there. But what I would do is okay, yeah, so I like this noise. Yeah, I like this a lot. So it's kind of the same concept as what I did with the kick, where it's like you have this little pattern and then you kind of have the same thing plus this next thing that's driving it back around. And sometimes what I do is I'll turn it, like I said, every other note kind of sounds good together, so this is sometimes what I'll try. It doesn't always work out, but to give it like a little bit deeper feeling. Okay, yeah, I like that even more. So now I'm actually going to try to add one more. And there's a certain name for these with 3. I think it's try something, but yeah, that's what I like to use a lot. 4 is sometimes, I use 4 too, but it's hard to find. It's kind of harder to make it sound good once you start adding more of these. Alright, yeah, love this shit. And now I want to add like certain keys in between these that kind of lead into the next one. And I'll show you what I mean. That sounds pretty good. I might change it though. Okay, these. Now I'm actually gonna try to do 2 in here. And what I like to do is, I think it's, so you want to play a key that matches the next thing that it's going to. So this key is a part of this next part. So so you want to kind of have that piece that connects it. So I'm gonna have to put this here since it's all part of that. Okay, maybe not. So I like that. Okay, maybe I'm actually not gonna I'm not gonna put one here, but I'm gonna try something in here for that same feeling of driving it back around. Move it back one more. So yeah, it's pretty fire. Yo, dude, yeah, so I like this. And really for this video, I'm just gonna have only this pattern, and I'm gonna show you that you can make a song out of just what you have here. And this is the part where I'm gonna lay it out into a song format. So yeah, when I make the beat, I have all these instruments playing together, which is gonna be like the big main part of the song where everything comes together. But there's gonna be parts where it leads up, and there's gonna be parts where just only this is playing, or parts where only certain parts of the drum are playing to create different effects on the song. So I'm gonna start this. Actually, I'm gonna start it with everything playing, and I've done this before. I've done this in the Cash Me Out song. It's kind of an effect where everything's playing, and then it kind of just it makes it and then it dies off, and then it comes back. So here, I'll show you. Actually, I would play it twice through. So you have this part at the beginning where you could actually say you rap the full song through, because normally you have this part just playing by itself at the beginning, and then it leads up. You keep adding more of these. Say you made a song like that to where you were eventually rapping over this whole part. You could cut that and then bring it back to the beginning, and then so you would have words like it would be halfway. It'd be like part of the song that it'd be like further into the song playing playing right here, so it's kind of like a sneak peek of what's going to happen in the future. So you'd be like, saying your verse right here, but then it would die off right here, and then it would restart to where it's building up, and it would eventually get down here where you would return to this part. And here is where you would add like a clip or something where it's just or you talking or something like that, to where it's like creating some kind of suspense, because when it's playing like that, it's like suspenseful. I'm gonna see what I want to do with this. I think I'm gonna add the kick here, just the kick by itself. Actually, I don't want to keep replaying this, so I'll do it. So yeah, I like that. And also I'm gonna bring the hi-hats. The hi-hats are gonna come in. Let me try this. Turn the clap down a little bit. So yeah, I like that. What we also want to do is Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving this forward. The 808 is gonna hit here. You wanna basically you build up to the 808. Okay, that's not this one. Basically, you're building up to this 808, and that's where the beat drops. Ah. I'm not sure if I want to have the snare that early, but I'm gonna see real quick. Turn the highs down. And then yeah, it oh, should be perfect. Yes. All right, so I fuck with this. And then a little trick that I do in this situation. Do that over one more time. But what I'm gonna do is in the middle of this, I'm gonna drop this whole part to where, and you'll know what I mean. This is what a lot of people do in their songs, and it creates this exaggeration. Actually, I think this is too big of a gap. It's gonna be right here. And this is what makes it like extra lit. Let me play. See, like it goes away and it comes back, which is like it makes it. I love when that shit happens, because especially if somebody's rapping, this part right here, whatever they're saying, is super exaggerated, and it brings it back, so it makes it amazing. All right, so after that, I'm gonna go back to only this playing, like I had here. And actually, I may just, because I think I'm going to end up doing it anyway. I'm just going to repeat this section. Let's see. Like that. And then also this section. Alright, so this is basically a full song. The one thing I'm going to do at the end though is to let it ride out. I'll keep the hi-hats going. I'll see. Maybe the 808's going. Actually, I think I'm going to cut the 808 off here. And this is basically the song. Let me see. Let me check out the ending real quick. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Alright, I'm gonna play it one time from the beginning, but yeah, that's basically what I do. This song's probably a minute something, but I can keep repeating this pattern or I can do a little bit of switching up. But I think that going back, playing this, and then playing it again is probably the best way to go through this song. So, thank you for watching. I'm gonna play it one time from the beginning, and then I'm peacing out. So, see you guys.